Yeah, we mentioned that heart disconnect a lot. So, we see a lot of masculinity content right now. There's not a ton, at least not in my sphere, of the feminine archetype and what that's supposed to look like in the healed, healthy way. We see a ton in the masculine space. And unfortunately, I think the thing that gets the most views and traffic are those really bombastic and hyperbolic. This is my idea of what a masculine macho man is. And I have two boys, and I certainly don't want that to be their example of what a healthy healed masculine energy is.
Yeah.
So, can you kind of describe what disalignment looks like in the masculine and the feminine, and then what more of like a healed whole masculine and feminine looks like?
Yeah, I can only describe it by, myself, right? So when I was in my disaligned masculine, I'm just going to be just brutally just honest and candid here. Highly successful in business,
Mhm.
made a lot of money, worked a lot of hours, drank a lot of alcohol, consumed a lot of pornography, spent a lot of time away from home. When I was at home, I was disconnected with my children, and at the time, my wife at the time. Um, and my pleasure principle in life was power and success. That was my pleasure principle. That's what I
Mhm.
wanted because I was wounded as a little boy because I got the double whammy. My father's father left him, basically abandoned him, right? So he never knew his father. So he was completely cut off from his masculine energy. If you were to meet my father, you wouldn't think he was my dad. He energetically doesn't, my dad's the kind of guy, God bless him, I love him, right? But he's the
Mhm.
kind of guy that like he's happy with just having like 25 bucks in his pocket. He's afraid of everything. He's just not very confident because that was his journey, right? Well, in many ways, that energy came into me, right? So there were a lot of things that I was afraid of as well. On my mother's side, my mother's mom passed away when she was 13 days old. So
Oh,
so
wow.
picture this. So my mom never knew how to share maternal love with me because she never had that example. Forget the example. She never even knew the energy of it, the essence of it, right? So that energy with me being her firstborn, I got the double whammy of both. Of course, they're wonderful people. Of course, they love me. They just didn't know how to express it and how to show it, you know?
Mhm.
So by the time I'm 13 years old, my dad's no longer around and I'm the man of the house. So what do I have to do? I have to provide. And so all of that forced me into the energies of desire, pride, right? And these are all energies that you see most successful men nowadays living from, right?
Mhm.
They're smoking their cigars, they have their big sunglasses, they're on the private jet. There's nothing wrong with any of that. It's just if you look, not with your eyes, but with your spiritual eye, you'll see someone that's really scared and really wounded.
Mhm.
Really scared and really wounded. And so my entire life was spent chasing and I wasn't connected to my heart. I didn't know how to express my emotions. I didn't know how to let love in. I didn't
Mhm.
even know that I didn't know how to let love in. I was deeply, deeply afraid of feeling, of sharing my feelings with people. And quite frankly, I was deeply afraid of being a man in the relationship, by the way, because I was a man in every other area, in business and every other area. But in the relationship, I was a wimp, quite frankly. I was a wimp. And that's what an unaligned masculine looks like, at least from my example, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And then what I think of an aligned masculine looks like, and I think it's very important that people, especially women, understand this because immediately the woman will go, "Oh, but there's not too many of them out there like that." Like, "Oh my God, yeah, you're going to be single forever if you wait for that." You got to stop thinking like that because that's you living from the outside in. When you live from the inside out, you become the very thing that you're searching for.
Mhm.
You become the very thing that you're searching for. There's no way that you can attract it, right? Because you're a
Mhm.
magnet. You're literally a magnet for everything that you want in your life. So I would tell people if you want to be with someone that it's an aligned magnet, first, aligned masculine, first understand what an aligned masculine is. Is someone that can provide financially, emotionally, spiritually, right? Mentally, intellectually. It's someone that can hold space, right? It's someone that is a warrior, someone that can defend, right? And this is not about any ego. It's just about if it's time to get down, it's time to get down, right? Like, I'm so glad I grew up in the ghetto, right? 'Cause I know how to handle myself. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
somebody that can defend, right? It's somebody that can go out and be connected spiritually, right?
Mhm.
And it's someone that is in their loving nature and can be it all, right? And that's a really aligned masculine. And that man just
Mhm.
is because he's been healed, you know? Now, on the flip side, the feminine, the biggest problem that I see right now and the biggest problem that I see out in the culture is that the culture has driven women to be more like men.
Yes.
And I'm saying this from I have seen forget about here, forget about the mental debate of, well, I can protect myself 50-50 on dates, but forget about all that shit, right? No, 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 no. Go to the spiritual side of things. Go to the energy of things. And when a woman is saying something like, I can protect myself, I don't need a man to take care of myself. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna go build an empire and I'm gonna be the boss, babe, and all that. Kudos to you. No problem at all. Just understand, I can pretty much guarantee you your body isn't opening up the way that it should be during sex.
So true. It's so true.